Okay, alright.
Hello and welcome back to the Make Lemonade podcast, the show where we hope to inspire builders, creators and entrepreneurs to earn money from their own lemonade stand. I'm one of your co-hosts, James, and I'm back here with JR Farr, co-founder and CEO of Lemon Squeezy. How are you doing, JR?
Good. Let's do this.
Today I'm thinking we're going to do a little bit more of a chilled Lemonhead episode because there's a lot of things going on and I want to take you behind the scenes of what it takes to build an affiliate feature from scratch, which is what you've been beavering away on, and how you're sort of shaping up for the launch of it. So you're just busy, it seems. But what are you doing so much with? How many hats are you trying to juggle with Lemon Squeezy? And do you get like stressed by it?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm way stressed right now. And believe it or not, I haven't taken $1 from Lemon Squeezy. I haven't made a penny. No. Put it all back in. So there's that. Constant phone calls. And then if I'm not doing that, I am working with Orman on the product and trying to map out what do we do there, right? Like how do we prioritize things? What does this affiliate feature need? What is the user goal here? So it's like very product thinking, product strategy is big. And then the marketing side, trying to think of how do we communicate this? How do we position ourselves? Thinking ahead in 12 months, what do we do in 12 months? What's next? It's like roadmap work. And it's just like, it's all of that stuff, you know? So like before I know it, my day is over. So
how does the momentum of Lemon Squeezy feel versus some of the other products you've had in the past that have been successful?
This one's pretty up there for sure. Mojo had its moments just like this. So the one I can relate to the most is Mojo, because when we were acquired, well, there's actually two moments. When Mojo first launched, we were riding the WordPress wave, and I think people need to like just compartmentalize where WordPress was at the time. It's 2009, 10, 11, 12. And WordPress is going from 9% to almost 20% in like, you know what I mean, in a year kind of thing, where it's just hauling. So like riding the whole wave, capturing the audience, idea, that was big for Mojo. We got lucky, and we saw that lucky and we were ready to have a marketplace to kind of capture all that momentum. But then when we sold, what happened was we plugged our marketplace into the hosting companies because we were bought by Endurance, who owned Bluehost, HostGator, all these big ones. And you're talking, I think maybe, Bluehost alone was a couple million users. So when we just like finally did all the work, it took months and months, 6 months, turned it on, we didn't know what to do. And I would actually say it was almost worse than this Lemon Squeezy Gumroad one. It was just the drinking out of a fire hydrant feeling was so real for us. This one, I think I've been able, and maybe it's actually learning. Like I learned a lot from that and got ready to like, see it faster and make adjustments quicker, where you like get naive and you're like, well, this isn't going to last. Like it'll be fine, or let's not worry about this. Like I think the experience came into play there, because I will say that the LS momentum is significant right now, and it's almost getting worse. And I say this every time I get on this call, but like it literally is. Every time I walk in and go into support, I can't believe the amount of tickets that are coming in.
Do you mean it's
crazy.
Getting better than getting worse?
It's like, yeah, it's the good problem to have. It's the good problem to have in business, right? Like the busyness is increasing, but that's a good thing. But it's just we got to keep hiring. So how long do we need to keep hiring ahead of this before it stops?
There definitely feels to me, and I don't know whether it's where I've become more involved and part of the team, that there seems to be so many people now switching to Lemon Squeezy who are becoming more aware of this tax compliance thing that they need to take more care of. They're seeing how nice Lemon Squeezy is to use. And where I felt you saw a load of Stripe screenshots and Gumroad screenshots, you're now getting both of those kind of with Lemon Squeezy. And maybe that's just in my little bubble, but it's definitely been a change for me, where I'm now seeing so many of these Lemon Squeezy screenshots instead of the Stripe and the Gumroad ones.
It's funny you say that, because I saw a few people say that in my own Twitter stream, where they were like, it was just some random person. I was like, I don't know if it's just my bubble, but I just see Lemon Squeezy everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I think there's good problems and bad problems in business. This is definitely a good problem to have, right? So we want this problem. I like these problems. But then the other thing is, when people sign up for Lemon Squeezy, it's not truly a SaaS where it's like, oh, we just got this much in MRR. We just got
Of
this
course.
much, right? So a lot of times there's a lot of pre-sale. There's a lot of, well, does Lemon Squeezy do this? Does Lemon Squeezy do that? Or, hey, I'm just getting started. You just approved me with this. The APIs, is there a dev guide? Is there or how do I do this with a Next.js? Or how, so there's a metric for us, which is how many support tickets are we doing divided by the amount of, revenue. And that'll tell us like the cost per, which is like an interesting metric that I haven't ever had to really track before because although I like our business model, what I love about our business model is the transaction fee model is attached to the merchant success. So as they become more successful, so do we, and that's a good win-win. Our incentives are aligned, right? Where the traditional SaaS is you get cash flow, and then you support that customer from the money they're paying you. So that's like a fine balance we have to watch too.
I'm wondering how you think about this podcast and why you're willing to put time and effort into it, because it's not huge and it's not something that anyone would invest in, especially when you've got so much going on with the growth of the business.
I want people to know that Lemon Squeezy is like, there's people just like them that are creators, that are building this, that are bought in, that are this fired up about the product they are. Because if you think about it, we're asking people to power their entire payment infrastructure. It's not like, hey, we just want to like send it some emails for you, or hey, we want to, you know what I mean? Like this is very different. And so that's probably my biggest driver is I want people to know who we are as a team and how we think and how we hire and how we run the company. And so they can have more of a, I don't know, when they choose to not use Lemon Squeezy or when they choose to like use Lemon Squeezy, they're at least like, I know how they think and it aligns with how I think, or vice versa. It doesn't. So I'm not going to use them. I like that. I'm a big believer in knowing who's behind the products I'm using. And so that's like a big driver for me, because you're right. This is not maybe probably ever going to be where we're getting 1 million downloads a month, and maybe it's just hundreds, but those 100 people to me are the right people that I want to speak to,
Yeah. And thing I've always enjoyed about podcasting is the intangible connection you feel with someone. And that helps make your decisions further down the line. So if you have someone who maybe hasn't started a SaaS yet or a product, or they do and they're using Gumroad and they're not quite sure if they should switch, what other payment providers are making content like this, where you can listen to the CEO every week talk about the challenge that are going on within the company, what you're planning to build, doing interviews to inspire other creators. It just builds that intangible connection that you can't really get through just blogs or Twitter. And I like that you see that.
Yeah. And it might sound cheesy, and it actually might sound cliche. It actually might sound like bullshit to some people, but it's true. And if you know me, and people that do know me, I think they know that I'm being genuine when I say it. And I genuinely think that, if we can provide value to people, then that makes them better creators or better founders, which in turn, if they use Lemon Squeezy, then now I have a founder that maybe we've taught someone better about how to hire, how to think about their pricing or their churn or retention. And that helps them be more successful, which makes Lemon Squeezy more successful if they're using their payment. So it's just like this weird, and it's like a long game to me. It's a very long game. It's not short term at all.
Yeah, well, you're putting your money where your mouth is by hiring me to invest in the podcast and showing up every week to do it when you have so many other things that you need to do within the business. So that just goes to prove that you're not bullshitting about this, and you are keen to help other creators and like peel back that layer that other people don't always see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think some of the things we're doing soon on the marketing site, like it'll peel back a little bit about the company and who's behind it. And I think that will help. And I think the third thing, and I know you feel this way, James, but like we get to meet some cool people already.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like Thomas last week. I mean, obviously it's cool that he was a Lemon Squeezy, but the guy's making $100,000 a month selling Notion templates. And we got to learn about YouTube and how he thinks. And this is a guy with almost 3 million subscribers. And now all these people get to learn how this, you know what I mean? You don't get to talk to people like that every day that have had that success. And I just think that's cool. Yeah.
So you've been a very busy bee with Lemon Squeezy over the past couple of weeks, specifically with a big feature that people have been desperately asking for, JR. Affiliates is now in beta. How has that gone down? How has the entire process been, where you've just had this barrage of people going, yeah, we want to use Lemon Squeezy, but we need affiliates. And you're like, it's coming, it's coming. And now it's finally out in beta. How's it all gone?
It's been up and down. It's been exhausting. It feels good to be here, but yeah, let me just kind of like set the stage here. So I had moments where it was like, I know better. I know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I know we're going to get there, but it literally feels like we joke internally that it feels like we're building a startup inside of a startup because this product is so big. And I've talked about this a few times, but it's a big piece of affiliate software. And then we also have the big marketplace concept inside the affiliate program where all of the affiliates can be global affiliates to all of our merchants. So it's really powerful, but that's a lot of stuff to think through from a design, UX, technically how to do that. And then even like little things that we did. I think one of the coolest, most underrated things that we did was like our tracking script is 100% cookieless and privacy friendly. I think that's just like amazing to do that with affiliates. And I hope that people recognize the level of craftsmanship, which is one of our core values at Lemon Squeezy. But to kind of get into it, it feels good. Beta's out. Give you some numbers. We gave access to, at this point, there's probably 150 merchants that have access to it in a beta. We want the loop to be pretty quick. We've had some amazing, like people have sent videos, people have sent Google Docs with, this is what I want. People are in our Slack community telling us what they want. I was going to read this tweet because this is like a good way to kind of just talk about this. This is one of the Gumroad migration sellers. It's called Altum Code. And he said, I'm simply amazed by the thought process that went into creating this complex and structured system. If you're still using Gumroad's affiliate system, the Lemon Squeezy implementation is 100 times what Gumroad offers in terms of features, UI, and UX. This is truly beyond godlike. That's a tweet from a merchant.
Mic drop.
That's pretty intense. And it's cool because we're seeing all the clicks. We're already seeing sales flow in for the merchants. And that's so amazing to just see within less than 24 hours. Someone launched an affiliate program, didn't have to do anything, and they've already made sales without having to really do anything.
What a viscerally positive response from that guy. What makes it so much better than Gumroad? Obviously, you're going to be biased, but what approach have you taken to make it better than what Gumroad offers, which is sort of a clear competitor for you?
I think with Gumroad and others, I think it's very elementary. It works, right? Like you can grab a link, you can share it. Here's products. Where ours is like, it's thought through very much on the merchant side. Like I want to do a specific product types. I want to do subscriptions on this one. I want to do this one and that one. And then just like even the little detail from the analytics and the insight. So I want to see all of my affiliates by clicks. I want to see them by IP addresses. I want to see them I want to auto approve affiliates. I don't want to approve affiliates. There's just so many little intricate details that you don't really think about unless you run an affiliate program. And then on the other side for the affiliate, making it super easy to spin up, look at all of our programs globally, assign, join them, grab affiliate links, customize the links. I don't know if I'm like proving the point, but it's just the detail is intense.
JL, why did you want to make it so detailed and intricate on par with that of a completely separate affiliate software that someone might have as their own SaaS versus just spinning something up just like Gumroad as an MVP? Why not just do that?
Because a lot of it has to do with my background, a very big marketing background for me. I've run a big affiliate programs. I've been a big affiliate myself. So it's like, it's almost maybe like I wanted to prove that ours could be the biggest and baddest. And I also think that when people are building products, I think marketing sometimes doesn't get the love it deserves. Product and design is sexy. Engineering is really cool to talk about and all the things it does and the new features we have. And marketing's a lot of times the afterthought. And so I actually think that by going the extra mile to invest in this, if we can help our merchants like make sales and help them with their marketing without them having to lift a finger, I just think that's super powerful. And that's like my theme this year is marketing and moats. I think that I've got to do a lot of work right now in building moats around Lemon Squeezy to protect us from everything. And this to me is one of those, it's like the first big trench of a big moat that I just launched, right? And it's a big protection because I know the right affiliates that we need to go after. I knew everything the merchant needed and I knew everything the affiliate needed. So everyone would love it on both sides. So I think it was worth it for that reason, which is the moat reason.
So you've launched it to merchants on beta, those that have applied, and when do you think you'll be ready to sort of push this out to everyone, or when do you want it to be ready for that?
I think it's a week, 2 weeks, and we'll wrap everything up. We'll get all the bugs cleaned up, and then we'll release it because we've got other stuff to get to. We've got a lot of stuff we got to build, so we got to get this thing shipped out and move on.
What's next after affiliates?
Well, one of the biggest ones actually is we've done a lot of work this year on payment orchestration. So de-risking the platform and making sure that we have all of our merchant accounts lined up behind the scenes to make that beautifully sync together, right? So if a merchant goes down, if we have any issues, then our merchants are not in a frenzy. You saw things happen with Flurly, you saw things happen with, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're trying to make sure we de-risk ourselves, but also, there is internal motivations, there's margins that we gain on and things like that. So I'm being very honest and transparent right now, but I mean, that is kind of the point of us is that if you use Lemon Squeezy, you know the founders, you know the team, and you know that we're in it for the long haul. And I think that's kind of why we're investing in that. So that's a big one. And I would say too, when the great Gumroad migration, there's three things I'm going to say. Payment orchestration, the great Gumroad migration, we've got a ton of features that we need to get into the product that people have asked for. And they've been very patient waiting for us. So we have got to get to those. That is like customization around checkout, customization around the checkout or the product pages, customization around their email templates, stuff like that to make them feel like this is more on brand for them. And then the third one is all around, we were making a big push into the SaaS world. And so we're going to be really getting back into making sure that everything is there. We don't get me wrong. We're doing paddle migrations. We're doing Stripe migrations. We are available. It works for SaaS, but I just, me at this point, like I wanted to make sure that we're the best. And so we're going to work towards that. And we've got the right team to do it. We've got amazing people like Dan and Claudio and Ram and Eric G. We've just got a solid team to do it. So those are the three things that we're going after. And that's what we got to get to.
Yeah, as I've said, I've definitely seen more SaaS software products moving over to Lemon Squeezy when I initially saw it as selling more just digital products and one-time purchase courses or whatnot. But it's cool to see people moving over the more they're becoming aware of some of the tax implications and why a merchant of record's so good. Mm-hmm. It'll be curious how I edit this. I don't even know because it didn't even start with an intro. I was just asking you questions about your BMW.
I know.
And then about
which we can take all that out. I don't want people to think that I'm some snooty asshole.
Okay, but also people are curious. Like when you do sell something and make your money, what do you do with it? You were curious about Brett. Like what toys have you bought? Everyone wants to know, and they want to be like, oh, okay. So if I get there, we all like to ponder. JR, what if we had $1 million? What would we spend it on? And you've had chat with family. But then what about if you find someone who actually has done that? What did they spend it on? And did they feel better for it?
Well, I'll say two things to that actually. One is $1 million you'll realize that $1 million is not a lot of money and you can spend it really fast. And two, I don't give a shit what people say, but money, it might not buy happiness. I understand the thinking, but it definitely makes things a lot easier.
Oh, I would say it buys happiness as well. I've had like the worst couple of years I've had mentally with work. And the whole time, my money has been rock bottom, overdraft, bills bouncing. It just got worse and worse and worse. That was not happiness. And over the last couple of months, JR, where I've got things back in order, I am so much happier right now that I don't have bills bouncing and I'm above my overdraft. And I'm feeling even more momentum to keep it away from that and earn more money and earn more money. And the more I'm doing it, yes, it's chasing, but I'm trying to chase getting out of debt. And for the first time in my adult life, having some savings and seeing my bank balance go up instead of down all the time. And that definitely makes you more happy.
I do think it's important for everybody to go through it. Like I grew up pretty poor. I didn't, I built everything that I have and that makes me appreciate it a lot more. You know what I mean? It was not given to me. And so I think that that's a big thing too.
All right. Well, I want to wrap up on creator to highlight, because we did it on one of the earlier episodes and we've seen a ton of examples of creators or builders selling really cool stuff on Lemon Squeezy. And JR, you know what I've been tinkering around with this weekend? I'm non-technical, so I'm never ever able to build websites. And I always kind of want to have a really sleek, nice website. So when people land on it, they're like, wow, that looks cool. When I first started out, it was WordPress and buying templates off ThemeForest. And then as I've got indie, I've tried like all of these different platforms. Card has been great for me, but it's always frustrated me that I've never been able to get a really nice looking website. But recently I noticed that Framer was getting big in the sort of no-code, non-tech community for building really slick, cool websites. And so I thought this weekend I'd give it a little go. So I delved into it. I was like, oh, all right, this is nice. You've got some nice free templates here to use, and I could whip something up pretty quickly. And like my current Podpanda website is built in Notion. It looks okay, but you can tell it's not quite there. But with the Framer website, it has polish. And I was able to do that as someone who can't write a lick of code. And so as I was delving deeper and deeper into this, JR, and like looking through the template store, I discovered this personal template made by a chap called Cedric. And this was like one of the more expensive templates on the store. It was $75. And I was like looking at it, I'm like, this is really nice. It's sort of just a wiki style personal website. And us indie creators, we love our personal websites. And I take a lot of pride in mine. Someone goes there and they see everything. And I keep going back to this template. I'm like, oh, I must get it. And then I finally thought, I'm going to get it. I really, really want to build this personal website in Framer. And click the link. Lo and behold, it's a Lemon Squeezy link.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so I was happy to see that. And then, JR, you sent me this a few links of people that have shared their Twitter screenshots of their Lemon Squeezy dashboards of sales they've made. This chap's made $4,000 this month selling this template. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's amazing, by the way. The fact that you went through that whole experience is super, super cool. We are getting closer with the Framer guys. I love the team there. Jordan, the CEO, he's amazing. And I just love this product. And I think they deserve the credit. I'm actually excited to see you getting into it. I'm actually just clicking around the template right now, and I'm just realizing that there's a lot of links in here with Lemon Squeezy links that I didn't even realize. Oh, Dashfolio, is that it?
Dashfolio is the one that...
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, this is cool.
We'll put a link in the show notes to Cedric's tweet and also his template Dashfolio, because it's just a really, really nice looking, sleek personal website built in Framer. And it's quite affordable as well for actually launching the page. It's like £8 a month.
Well, we just learned about this. Don't sleep on templates. I mean, Tom's is making $100,000 a month in Notion. There's no reason that there's probably going to be $100,000 a month Framer template person here very soon. So
yeah, you know Dan on the Lemon Squeezy team, head of DR, head of DR. He has a little template business called Super Themes Co, where he makes templates for Ghost. And Dan's design style is super unique and super minimal and beautiful. And so he's always done themes. And I was always excited about that business because you build it once, you can set it over and over and over.
Oh, yeah. It's great business.
So, yeah, I'd love to see more themes. All right, cool. We weren't going to talk about Silicon Valley Bank, but I will say this. There's almost no point now because it's Thursday and it broke last Friday. Everyone panicked over the weekend and now it just seems to have gone. Like all the turmoil just gone. So when we publish this next Wednesday, like... people are going to forget about it, right?
And I think it's been covered enough. And plus I don't even know how well we could speak to it, to be honest.
No. Cool, man. Well, good episode. This is like the most chilled, relaxed Lemon Squeezy chat, Lemonhead chat we've had. You like to call these Lemonheads, right?
I think so. Yeah. Because then if we can have a series of it, if we bring on Orman or any of the guys. Yeah.
All right, man. I will see you next week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, all right.